Okay, so again, there's look how fast the time date loaded. So it's 7:26, 4th of July, 2017. Again, you can see how fast the time loaded. If we um, let's go back to recent activity. So as soon as I started making these videos, the behavior changed. Now look at all of my connections to Google in the last well, close to hour, um, are all browser. There's no mobile duplications. There's no mobile duplicate. Every time I connect to, there's still a lot of these connections on the very bottom are um, are still active, and their browser connections active. But any new connections are not duplicated with a browser or with a mobile app. I'm just connecting with my browser, no mobile app. The Anglicans and their secondary system, that's their master system that masters my phone. I think my phone connects to the internet through their system, and then that's how they monitor and mine all my traffic and data. They're using a mobile, and they piggyback like a man in the middle into my system, into my Gmail account. So here you see all the bottom here are all the same date. They're using the same date, which is through my VPN, and then the top here is a new connection. The three top are new connections, 198, 220, and 19. They're all through my VPN, but they're all browsers. No, they're not accompanied. Pardon me, they're not accompanied by a mobile. So the Anglicans, this shows you two things. The Anglicans watch me real time, 24 hours a day. They watch me. In the middle of the night, they do the same thing. In the day, they do the same thing. They either monitor my activities either directly through the phone, like by using microphone, or by using other methods. They have complete access to the building. I have no idea what's in the roof. The roof is paper thin. I hear activity up there all the time. So they have Cat9 cable up there. They could easily run Cat9 cable, and they could easily run microphones or even IP cameras that have microphones up into the roof, and then easily monitor and record my dialogue, monitor what I'm saying in my unit. And then they can walk by the unit, stall around outside, loiter around outside my unit, and say, oh, we just heard him through his door. We just heard him standing outside his door. So this has been happening for a long time. This has been happening since I lived here, since I lived in New South Wales, in 126 Croydon Avenue, New South Wales, in this building, majority owned by the Anglican Church. And this shows you exactly what I'm talking about. This is conscious interaction. This is not accidental. This is progressive changes in the system, progressive changes in monitoring the system. And this is complete monitoring of my internet activity. There's three browsers. Apparently, evidently, it looks to me like they disconnected, like they let my phone go off their system, and my phone is connecting clean. I have a strong signal. I never have a strong signal. The VPN hasn't dropped out once since I've been doing this, and I have different IP addresses for each of my access to my internet with the browser, and there's no mobile duplicates or accompanying activity. So this shows you that the Anglicans monitor what I'm doing, and then they realize that I've made an observation and that they've been caught, and then they pull out. And then they go amongst themselves, and then they decide, they commiserate, whatever the word is, and then they talk about, they connive and conspire, they cover up their tracks, they connive to figure out new ways of getting what they want, which is access to my Gmail or YouTube or Twitter, or monitoring my phone. This is completely conscious interaction. This is not accidental networking glitches. This is monitoring on a persistent basis by a group of people that are in the Anglican community here. I don't think one person could do this. It takes a group of people to do this, and I think it takes a system that several people help in maintaining. And I think that the fact that it's targeting us supports the further evidence for what I said before about when we moved in here, the Anglicans wanted to buy this unit, so they pressured us. And there's evidence that they pressured the people who lived here before. They pressure them with social pressure, and they pressure them with psychological pressure and peer pressure. And what they want to do is they want to push people out of this unit because the unit's owned by someone else. It's not owned by anybody living in this building. It's owned by a third party. They want to pressure the tenants that are renting the unit to leave, and thereby pressuring the owner of the unit by financial burden of having an empty unit to sell to the Anglicans because they want to own the whole unit. They want to own the whole building. And then they use this computer harassment and breaking devices and breaking computers not only to train their students so that they can do it to other people and then work for the government with government security, internet security um, agendas and campaigns, but they can also do it within their church underneath the eye of the public. They're betraying every single trust that has been given to them as a church body. They're betraying every civil trust by breaking laws, by collaborating with public officials, and in influencing through lobby the creation of laws to allow them to continue and legislation to allow them to continue these behaviors because they want to continue these behaviors and they want to continue accessing people's computers and phones. And this is horrible. This has been going on for a long time, and I think that this has been going for a long time before I even moved here. I noticed this kind of behavior with the same type of people, like I said before, um, back in 2011 and 2012. I noticed these kind of things by the same group of people that were Anglicans hanging out by an Anglican church. I lived right near an Anglican church, and I saw the same type of behavior with a bunch of students, apparently students that were a student group of young people just like this, and they were hanging out with um, church members near an Anglican church. So I think this happens all over the place. And like I said before, I lived in that a unit that was near an Anglican church, and my unit was being broken into, and my computer was being broken into. So I think this has been happening for a long time. Long. Uh, then when I moved to this building, it seemed really weird that the same thing that happened when I lived at the other Anglican church started happening here, like almost immediately, within days. And then I kind of started putting things together and watching carefully and taking note about their behavior and how they acted, and then things just kept coming up, kept coming up, kept coming up, and now I'm absolutely 100% without a doubt certain that these Anglicans commit computer crimes, that they work through their church and use their framework, the framework set by their church, and within the church, within society as a subculture of society, and then they parasitize off of society to benefit themselves, to advance themselves. They use their ability to gain information to gain property, financial clout, political clout, and etc. They can break into any computer they want. And this shows you how they aggressively monitor my phone activity. Lots of times my phone will act so horribly and it's so broken that it's almost useless and I can't use it. They block SMS messages sent from my wife. They block connectivity to the internet. They block connectivity to my YouTube accounts. They block my ability to, they interfere with videos that I make. When I make videos, recently I just made another video last week about on the 26th or 27th, I think, about how they cause their interference with the phone causes the audio and the video to be um, out of sync. And that is complete interference with my property and my device. All this is illegal, and even if they get caught, nothing happens because they're so powerful. So just going back to my, oh, it closed. going back to my ice cat. So all my tabs closed when I closed that. When I closed my account there, that shouldn't have happened. So look how quick it is and responsive and snappy. Oh, now it's lagging a bit, but nothing compared to what it was before. Oh, no offline messages. So I can't connect. It won't connect now. For some reason, it's not connecting. It won't let me connect. Even though I got signal, it won't let me connect to my Gmail. So I'm going to try connecting one more time here and see what happens. Come on. Okay, I'm going to just try here. Okay, I'll go here. It should just go into my account. There, okay, so here we are. Lots of times, you know what I just did with the no offline messages, lots of times I'll get caught in a loop and I won't be able to access my account. No offline messages, no offline messages, no offline messages, and I'll have to close everything down and disconnect. And sometimes I have to shut my phone off before I can connect to my Gmail. Here you can see again, it's taking a long time to connect, and usually it's no offline messages, see? So now apparently I've got a signal and I've got a connection, but I can't connect to my account. It won't let me connect for some reason. This happens quite often. So no offline messages. So this is another example of what I was talking about. Okay, I'm just gonna pause the video for a second and see what happens. Yeah. Okay, so I disabled my internet, my radio. I'm gonna turn my radio back on, and then I'll turn my VPN back on, and then I'll try to connect into or get into my Gmail. Okay, so it looks like I got a connection now. I got a signal. Connecting. Okay, connection success. Let's go to my browser and let's see what happens. Let's see if I can get into my account. Okay, it's taking a long time. Well, it's not too bad, but still it's not snappy as it was. I see an arrow, but still no offline messages. So see, you look at my connection. There was an arrow. Just look back, but apparently it won't let me. It won't let me connect. It won't let me connect to my Gmail. So I don't know why that is. I should just connect. I've got in my settings, I've got on clear private data. Oh, it was changed. Privacy. I shouldn't have. No, it's okay. It should be okay. The cookies are good, so on my active logins should be remain.